And welcome back to the Gregorio's Trattoria pregame show here on Big Train TV. Tyler Gallo and Ben Bobeck to get you set for this Saturday night game as the Alexandria Aces come to town to take on the 2-0 Bethesda Big Train. Tyler, it's been a couple days since we've been back here at Povich Field. A day off on Thursday, pre-scheduled, and of course it rained out last night. Supposed to be in DC to take on the Grays. What do you see from the Big Train tonight?
Well, you know, the old adage, spawn and sane and pray for rain. They will be hoping that there's no rain tonight for this game, and, you know, just to get back into action and take on a team they haven't seen yet this season. So there's going to be some new guys to take on and keep on rolling. They're 2-0 right now and hoping to extend that to 3.
The Aces at 2-1, a half game back from Bethesda in the Ripken League standings, and they'll send these pitchers to the bump respectively to square things off. For the Big Train, it'll be Jake Eddington, newly arrived from the University of Alabama, while the Aces will send Derek Civic to the mound.
Right, and Eddington had a pretty interesting season. While it was the ERA of 7.29 is a bit of a tough one to talk about because he struck out 25 and he only walked 12 this year. So it was a good season, but he just ran into some hard luck at Alabama. He touches down off the plane.
Really tough in SEC play.
Right, and comes down off the plane, especially as a guy that's going into his sophomore year in your first season at Alabama. It's going to be tough. Touches down off the plane, comes in, and starts the first game. And there's a lot of reinforcements on this staff. And Derek Civic on USC Upstate, again, a 6.35 ERA. But this season thus far, he pitched 3 scoreless innings.
Yeah, got one start for the Aces. We talked about Eddington, really came on late. The led all-Alabama freshman in innings pitched, just over 20. So we'll see what he can do in his first outing for the Big Train here tonight. On the other side, the offense, 12-5 win. Again, last Wednesday at Povich Field over South County. What are you looking for them tonight? Who's your hitter to watch out of tonight's game?
Well, I'm going to have to go with Keith Torres, a guy that's just there's a lot to hear about him. We've heard so much about him coming into this, and for him to slot back in the lineup, he's in the 9-hole today, playing shortstop. I think he's going to do something and make something happen tonight. I mean, he's made stuff happen in the past for this team, so I think he can do it again tonight.
I'm going to cheat a little bit. I'm going to go with 2, and that's the 7 and 8, 9 hitters. The combination of Brady Gump and Kyle Velasquez, they really sparked that 12-run game against South County. Really effective at turning the batting order over, getting back to Austin Gauthier at the top, and they'll be looking to do similar things tonight. Tyler, any last comments before we get ready for first pitch here at Povich Field?
Well, it should be a good one. It's a very nice evening, and it should settle into some nice weather right now. The shade around 75 degrees right now, so it's a pretty comfortable evening to play some baseball, and I'm excited to see them go to battle with the Alexandria Aces, hoping to pull a card out of their deck.
That will do it for us here on the Gregorio's Trattoria pregame show. First pitch between the 2-1 Alexandria Aces and the 2-0 Bethesda Big Train coming up next right here on Big Train TV.
At Cabin John Regional Park at Povich Field in Bethesda, Maryland. It is another afternoon or evening, if you want to call it, of Bethesda Big Train Baseball as they take on the Alexandria Aces. And a pleasant good evening to everybody, wherever you may be. Tyler Gallo and Ben Bobeck here in the George Solomon press box here for Bethesda Big Train Baseball on Big Train TV as the Big Train get ready to take on the Alexandria Aces for the first time this year, hoping to extend their record to 3-0. So, Ben, tonight, new starter on the mound. It's going to be Jake Eddington. What are you looking forward to from out there on the mound?
Yeah, first of all, just getting back to a little baseball. You know, we had a couple days off there, a couple unscheduled breaks. Of course, the rain out last night in D.C. I almost missed you, Tyler. And Jake Eddington, I'm sure, is excited to be back here for the first time with the Big Train. Like we mentioned in the pregame, a new arrival from the University of Alabama after they fell out in the regional round of the NCAA tournament. A pretty exciting freshman year for him. You know, just over 20 innings pitched and a lot of impactful play in the SEC tournament, and he's going to look to continue rolling that over here into his first start with the Big Train at Povich Field.
Absolutely, and there's a plethora of new faces here, but let's first take a look at the starting pitching matchup presented by the Dandy Walker Alliance here on the Big Train TV. And of course, let's take a look there at Eddington. We just talked about him, but he's opposed by Derek Civic out of South Carolina Upstate, who had an interesting season in South Carolina Upstate, 6.30 ERA, but thus far this season, he's been pretty good in his lone start. He pitched 3 scoreless innings with a strikeout and a walk, and he'll look to continue that this year. And in this start against Jake Eddington, who comes from Alabama, who had a bit of a misnomer of a season. While he had a 7.30 ERA at Bama, he struck out a lot and walked a little bit, so maybe some tough luck out there as a freshman on the Alabama staff.
Yeah, again, I think with relievers like this, who are only pitching around 20, 25 innings, you have to look more at the strikeout to walk ratio rather than just the overall ERA. And with him, 25 strikeouts, 12 walks, and that tells you that he's got his stuff. He's got pretty good command as well, almost a little bit more than a 2-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio.
So as we get set for first pitch, standing in will be Josh Hall, the center fielder for the Alexandria Aces, and he'll look to do battle here with Jake Eddington as he sets and delivers the first pitch. Is chopped down the left base side, going into no man's land. That's going to be a foul ball. So 0-1 quickly, and we're underway. First pitch, 7:02.
Nice quick start. No
Yeah.
dilly-dallying tonight. 75 degrees and cloudy here at Povich Field. While we did miss a game last night due to the rain, I think it also brought down the temperature about 15 degrees. So no real complaints on my front here.
So Hall, no stranger to Eddington here as he plays for Auburn. Eddington doing battle with a foe here as he sets and delivers the 0-1 outside, and it's 1-1. Hall batting in the leadoff spot today. Has had, pretty nominal season at the dish. What's he looking like right now, Ben?
400 batting average, but only 4 hits as he chops this one up the middle.
And he'll continue to roll here as there's a base hit up the middle to lead off this game, and Eddington greeted rudely.
Yeah, but the thing about Hall that makes him so dangerous at the top of this order for Alexandria, 5 stolen bases. He's only been caught twice, and he's come around to score 5, which I believe leads Alexandria in runs scored.
So he'll be in motion most likely coming up here as Taylor Hopkins will step into the dish, the shortstop.
Slightly less better average, .100.
Yeah, and prime double play candidate here. As here's the first pitch from Eddington. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Hefty cut there from Taylor Hopkins as the first swing of the day. Yeah. Well, first swing that didn't make contact of the day. First swing and miss for Jake Eddington.
And it would be interesting to see what a double play looks like today and, this inning, this batter, but also just throughout the night, as we do have a new shortstop, Keith Torres, coming in from Sacramento State. He hasn't practiced with this team that much. Just got here his first game tonight with the big train, similar to Eddington on the mound. And, you have Gauthier, at second, who was playing shortstop for the previous, 2.5 games. And so we'll see, if there's any sort of botched combinations or how smooth that possibly looks up the middle.
Fouled back into the screen, and it's 1-2. So off the bench tonight, Nip and Sean Ewell are available. And Sean Ewell, surprisingly, is out, and Rocco Pepe in the game. But, of course, Torres and Doyle slot into the lineup tonight.
Yeah, Sean Ewell just named a freshman All-American, I believe, at Florida Atlantic. So congratulations to him and his family on that. Well-deserved honor.
Some hardware.
First year with Owl Nation.
There goes Hall, and he'll get to second and potentially third as he puts on the brakes. That gets away from Thomas behind the dish. So a free stolen base there as it's a wild pitch. I guess a wild pitch there from Eddington. You're not sure if it's going to be a pass ball. That ball took a nasty hop. Either way, Hall stands on second with nobody out and 2-2 count to Hopkins. Hopkins will do it again here with 2 strikes. Backed up against the wall or right away here against Eddington. Eddington with those long locks flowing in the breeze. Takes a look back towards second. Looks again. Fires and delivers. Popped up foul out of play down the left field side and into the tennis court region of Cabin John Regional Park.
And you mentioned Sean Ewell on the bench. That's because you'd have guys like Keith Torres, guys like Trevor Doyle hitting in the 3-hole tonight and out in right field. Coming and joining this big train bench for the first time this season. And, not listed on the bench is Ryan Doherty. He had an admirable 3-game stint as a designated hitter, but he's back out to the hive out there in left field, the bullpen, where he probably expected to be for the majority of the year.
Filled in as best as he could. He expected to pitch, but was pressed into service as it's 3-2 now, the payoff offering for Eddington. We'll get on that in a little bit. Once again, Doherty. Runner does not go as that's hit into left field, and that's going to go out of play once again. Out towards the hive, and maybe, into the tennis courts again. So that one landed on the tennis court. Couldn't tell you what happened to the other one. But fighting off another pitch is Taylor Hopkins, and